Hi,
Hello.
welcome here.
Thank you.
I'm really glad we are doing this.
Thank you
And
for having me.
you're welcome. And I'm very grateful that I have this opportunity because, with all of what you have done and what you are doing, I'm really appreciating all of that.
Thank you.
So thanks for being here.
Thank you for making the time.
You're much welcome. And sorry if we've made inconveniences or anything,
No,
but
not at all.
hopefully everything is in place now. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
So when we started this, you talked about Cinema Paradiso.
Yes.
Yeah, and you are the first person that I think, or second person that I've seen the movie before my interference, without me just nagging down their necks about watching it.
That should be a crime.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how did you first watch the movie? Where did you heard about it, and how has it affected you?
Well, for the first time I saw the movie, I actually don't remember because I was very, very small. My dad speaks fluently Italian.
Okay.
And he used always to play Italian movie.
Okay.
So I've seen maybe all the Italian movies that are there when I was a kid.
Okay.
But Cinema Paradiso was the film
Yes.
that got me into thinking I really want to study film.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And why was that? What was so?
Every single frame actually about that film. The fact that it is about cinema.
Yes.
What a kid is doing for cinema, what cinema can do for, and the power of cinema actually. That is when I realized, maybe not as much as now, that I'm now a grown up woman, but back in the days, that's when I realized that it's not just an art form. It's an art form that can contribute into changing a society.
Yes.
A family, very much in that film, a human being. So imagine a society. And when I grow up, that's when I decided, I really want to study film.
Yes.
And maybe one day I can do something about film. I don't know, I'm going to start a film commission here in Kurdistan. But in Belgium, that's when I decided, because I grew up in Belgium, that's where I decided it should be cinema.
This is really fascinating because I had the exact same experience, after watching it for the first time. Because me and my friend, he's also huge movie enthusiast and stuff. We always rate movies, and people who watch movies usually tend to like that.
Yeah.
So I haven't all the movies were missing something, up to that one, and I watched a lot of them. I was talking to a friend yesterday. I was basically watching 12 movies in one weekend, something like this. Yeah, it was.
You really should study film.
Yes. So when I watched that one, it was the one that really stood out. It was it's still now it's the only one that got a 10 out of 10 for me. Because it's a film about people who love films. It's a film about a child, a teenager, and then a grown man who has viewed the industry, and he was basically stealing his mother allowance just to go to watch the movies, which I think I did at some point. Yeah,
you felt related to the story.
So that was stood out. It was very personal. It was very So, and everything is perfect to that. The story.
Do you really like Italian cinema?
Yes.
Because of this film. Yeah, many people say that. Yeah.
Because the soundtrack is amazing. It was composed, I think, by Enrico something.
I think so. I'm not sure.
Yeah, his name is somewhere here. Yeah, it's
Ennio Morricone.
Yes, this one.
I'm not going to mispronounce his name, but this guy.
Yeah, he unfortunately he passed away, I think, a couple of years ago, and the actor who played the grown man also, Vito, he also died a couple of years ago. That's where we are all heading.
Oh,
yeah.
Your heroes.
Yes. So after watching that one, I know there is something to add on top of this, because this is what fascinates me more about the industry and the art form in general, because it's it motivates you. Like you can start stuff, you can like even just like feeling represented or feeling connected with something that I don't know, it's a piece of art. It's like
cinema or filmmaking, the art of filmmaking. I always say that, and probably I'm not the one who came up with this idea, but I think it is just maybe I've heard it somewhere.
Okay.
But I truly believe in it. It's the only art form that collects
all of the art forms.
All the other art forms. It's like a puzzle.
Yes.
If you take the music out, or the picture, like the director of photography, or the set design, or the name it. It is the only art form that is a puzzle of all the other art forms. And that's why filmmaking or the cinema industry
the most difficult one.
is the seventh most important art out there, because it collects, it's a collection of all the other art forms.
Yes.
It is you can't make a movie without actors, or without the set design, or without decoration, or without, I don't know,
composer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, there are many films without music, but it's about the sound. So that's an art on its own. Yes. And that's why cinema is so important, because it's like the family house of all the other art forms.
Okay. We will get back to movies at the end of this, but like let's start with like the KFO, like Kurdistan Film Office. How did you started it, and why did you started it?
Okay, just I find it. I'm gonna start here. Okay. Wait, actually, it's Kurdistan Film Commission Sulaimani.
Yes,
it's for the, as we say, Suli zone. It's for the entire Sulaimani zone, not just the province of Sulaimani.
Yes.
Okay, that's number one. That's the jurisdiction. It's quite important that people know where the KFO actually is.
Okay.
A film commission is not a film company.
Okay, yes.
I would like to explain what a film commission is because there are many misconceptions regarding what a film commission really is. Yes. It's always a non-profit organization or institution that represents a country or a region on the global film industry map.
Yes.
It is the doorway toward which a country can network and lobby for itself on the international film industry map globally then. A film commission works on supporting local filmmakers, supporting local industry, professionalizing the industry, while trying to network for that certain country as a filming destination, as a filming location. So other film productions come and film here, spend their production money here, contribute into that film industry on the ground.
Yes.
When I started with this project, it was the first idea came in 2014. It was actually the first year when I moved back to Kurdistan. And I think before me, many people maybe had the same idea, because a film commission is not invention. It exists all around the globe. It is just how you do it and how you start with a film commission, so it is sustainable. So it is almost a decade that I've been working on establishing the film commission, and it took many travels, networking sessions all around the world, just to lobby for Kurdistan at a region, as an interesting region for the film industry. Because let us not forget, this is not Europe. We should be very realistic with ourselves. We are a region that are surrounded throughout history with war, with difficulties, with borders that might not very much like us.
Yes.
So to go out there and tell the foreign production and film industry outside of our borders, like, oh, please come and film here. You should know what you are asking or why you are asking them to come here. And this, the biggest asset that we have is our culture. We are a very culturally rich nation and region, and that was my point of let us say, it was the point that I tried to convince people why this was interesting.
So you tackled that angle, and I think based on what you said, like you are working in two directions. The first one, it's like making it more appealing and making a better case for like foreigners to start like shooting in this region. And also, I think one of your other responsibilities is to globalize the local filmmakers and to put them on the map. So you are targeting these two destinations, which I think is pretty impressive that you are doing that, and you are benefiting those small people who are enthusiastic about the art form, but they don't know how to get their voice out there.
Sure. It is actually the work of a film commission. The work of a film commission is a very complicated map, actually. It is not just, people think that a film commission is only to lobby for locations. It's not true. Or it is just to promote a country. It's absolutely not true. A film commission is actually the first point of contact for foreigners when they enter a country with the intention of filming in that certain country. Yes. That's number one. But also a film commission is the official body that should professionalize the sector, the audiovisual sector, not just the film sector, into a sustainable industry.
Yes.
Let us say one more thing is we have wonderful Kurdish films and wonderful Kurdish filmmakers. Yes. Throughout all these years. We cannot neglect or deny their contribution into the Kurdish film industry, even though I don't like to say it, industry. Because it's not again, established. No, we have Kurdish films, we have wonderful artists, actors, directors, scriptwriters. They have traveled with their films, they have won awards, but we do not have an industry. And that is something we should be realistic with ourselves.
How would we define an industry? Like
an industry is a self-sustainable industry that lives on that sector. So you don't have filmmakers that live on making films. Okay, that's one. You don't have back-to-back productions, as we call it, which is we always have this certain amount of films or TV series or commercial per year. Every single difficulty affects this sector. Okay, as I said, the foreign production and film industry.
Yes,
they will not come here for our sake.
Of course,
they will come here for their sake. What is in it for them?
So you must make a compelling argument.
So I'm absolutely against the propaganda, or I absolutely against it to sell a propaganda to the public. Say, oh, they're gonna come because we have great location and we are lovely people. No, they will not. We have to offer them a few things that is important for them to
get here.
No, for them to choose Kurdistan and not, let us say, Jordan or Dubai.
Yeah, because
or Saudi.
I think The Martian was shot in Jordan.
No, many films were shot in Jordan. We cannot even count it. Dune, and it is a very sustainable film commission in Jordan, a very successful one. Is one of the most successful models.
Yes.
And I'm very good friends with them and I absolutely adore them. They are a very good example in the region. And you bring me to a very important point, which is that propaganda that I want to avoid in every speech or every interview I do. Is I'm not going to go out there and sell the propaganda or, oh, Hollywood is kissing our hands to come here. No, they are not. We should be realistic in our approach. If we look at the past 20 years in Kurdistan, which productions were here is always the independent ones.
The European independent.
Exactly. Or even American independent, because not every film that has the nationality of American is a Hollywood production. A Hollywood production goes plus 25 million to 50 million dollar per budget, per the film budget, exactly. So not every American production is a Hollywood production. So I don't want to sell that to my young filmmakers, to my students at the university, because they're going to go back again with a dream that they think is going to happen tomorrow, which will not.
Yeah.
This is a sustainable thing. It will take years of lobbying, of networking, of creating labs, creating facilitators for it to grow into a real industry with all its assets, with all its institutions. You need every institution inside a film commission to be solid.
Yes.
That survives war.
Yeah.
Instabilities.
Economic crisis.
Yeah, and political.
Foreign interventions.
Yeah, no, the most important is the political scene.
Yeah.
In Kurdistan and in Iraq in general.
Yes. So you are doing that through establishing the network with the foreigners and the independent filmmakers and promoting the local filmmakers, right?
I didn't get your question.
So, like, you are achieving all of that throughout these two approaches, right?
No, there are many approaches because I can't get into the details of the work plan
of course,
of a film commission. But it is actually, if we explained it simply, is through Care for Sulaimani, I'm trying to put Kurdistan out there, which is on representing Kurdistan on the film markets.
Yeah.
And it is quite important to mention that the launch of Care for Sulaimani happened during the European film market in February in Berlinala, thank you, which was the first booth at any film market or film event to represent Kurdistan. So that was history as well. So that's where we launched the film commission, and we invited other film commissions around the world to come and to be in our receptions. We introduced our locations, the facilities we have. There were other Kurdish filmmakers there who also tried to network, because that's what we do. That's what a film commission does. You take the country out there with as many filmmakers, films, projects, facilities, whatsoever, to be able to represent the country's industry and show it to them.
Can we take a 5-minute break?
Yes, sure.
Okay.
We're back. So we're talking about the Berlinala Film Festival, about your booth there and everything. So how did that happen?
Okay. As I said, I don't like to talk about my plans and strategies because I know so many people went out there and spoke about the plans and none of it happened. So what I do is strategical moves, even if they are small or very big. So my first idea was I want to launch KFO as professionally as possible. So when you launch a film commission, you either should do it at Berlinala or at Cannes. And the first market that came up after all the protests in America, I don't know if you are aware.
The one where like the writers were
exactly. This Berlinale this year was the first market that opened toward the industry after all those protests.
For people who don't know, like there was a huge strike in the US where like writers were demanding to be paid more.
Exactly.
And then because like writers do not have as much power and authority as actors, so actors decided also to support the writers. Not all the actors joined because
many of them.
Some of the huge actors, they decided to keep like keep it safe and playing it safe with the huge studios, and it was a whole big thing, and it affected like a lot of film releases, both for movies and TV shows.
It affected the entire film industry globally, not just in America.
Because like as we said, like they have an established industry, and there are like ideally movies coming up every week or every couple of 2 weeks.
No, it affected even Netflix. There were shows that were left without episodes.
Like also one of the things that we can also talk about is like one of their demands was about like the use of AI, because production companies wanted to basically, if there is like a dead actor or an actress, they can use like artificial intelligence to regenerate like lines or make them act in movies, even though that they are not fully notified, or like they haven't agreed to this.
Yeah.
So
No, it was a huge strike, and the first market in the film industry that came up after the strike was finished was the Berlinala. So I thought it is the most strategical market.
There is a huge problem there.
No. See, there was the strike. So the entire industry globally was on hold.
Yes.
When the strike ended, the first market that came up, like...
so after the strike?
Yes,
Okay.
after the strike, because during the strike there was nothing. The whole industry was on hold, was sort of dead.
Yes.
So the first market that came up and that worked after the strike was the Berlinale, and so was the European film market.
Yeah.
And so I thought it is going to be very, very busy, which was because the entire American industry were there. So the Asian and the European, and also from the MENA region. We should do the launch there. So I started organizing for the booth, our Kurdish booth. It was also, as I said, the first Kurdish booth representing Kurdistan as a country on a film event, whether it's a festival, a film market, name it. So it was a bit historic as well that we did that, and it was a huge success. I was actually overwhelmed with the reaction of the professional industry, with other film commissions that came to us and wanted to work with us. So that's why I didn't want to wait until Cannes, which is in a month time. Yes, less than a month. Yeah, and a little 2-3 weeks from now. I didn't want to wait until Cannes. I wanted to do it during the Berlinale and the film market, which is one of the most prestigious film markets in the world. So it was very good. I'm very, very happy. And now we are organizing our launch here in Sulaimani.
Okay. So based on like what happened there at like the film festival, what was like the most like frequent reaction, like especially for, as you said, like you're working to get foreigners to make their movies here? What were their concerns? What were the things that I don't know, they have in their mind? What do they like about this place or what not? Or like you were basically the first person to tell them this. So
yes.
What happened?
It's very nice that you ask that, because that's exactly when someone very important told me that this is the first time that they see Kurdistan as a representative body there, not as a film, because Berlinale is quite famous for getting Kurdish films into their selection, actually in Europe, all over Europe. So they were first very, very happy, very supportive, which was actually, I thought my booth is going to be empty. And I was always talking about it. I'm going to be there. No one will show up.
Yeah, I face the same thing when we have the movies booth at Club Stage.
Yeah, and it is Berlinale. It's not a joke. Every single country has its representative there. Every single commission is there. They have screenings. They have receptions. And it was so packed, our booth, that I got ill when I got back because it was extremely busy. Our receptions were very, very successful. And overall, there were no concerns, actually. The question was, what is the view of the people in power about culture and art? What is their contribution? That was the view? No, that was their question.
Okay.
That was their question. What is their
So
what
they are questioning.
That was the number one question, is what do those in power think about the film industry? What do they want to do about it? Because they told us we have every asset to bring it forward. Like we have we checked every box that's there, except for 2-3 very important ones, but that will come over time. But their main concerns is because there is this political instability. What if someone who's in power changed its position? What will happen then? And it was quite interesting. That's the only question that all of them asked. All of them. Every single person that came, except for the production-related question, which is, what is your tax rebate? Do you have one? Cash rebate? Those are very, like
the generic questions. Huh?
Yeah, those are very important questions when it comes to making a film, which we as professionals know how important it is. We do not have it here. We don't have a cash rebate. We don't have tax incentives. Those are things we should design, work on it, etc., etc. Location, what do you do for permits? Those questions that we are used to and we answer, but their main curiosity was that. And it was very interesting for them to ask that question. Yeah, it was quite interesting that they asked that question out of all the other questions.
Yes.
Yeah.
So after that, what are you aiming for? What's the end goal for the commission?
First, very honestly, is for me to tell my local community what a film commission is.
Okay.
Because as I said, the misconception about what a film commission is huge, because in the past also there has been so many fraud related to that word. Many people has used the word commission to get to a certain point, and it was never a film commission. It was a company, some other organizations, etc. So it is now the time for the local community to really, really, really feel safe around a film commission. And something very, very important I want to highlight. A film commission will help the local production companies to get more work. Now people think that a film commission will eliminate film companies, which is absolutely not true. We are now working on a...
I think they should, ideally it would work hand in hand.
No, it doesn't work like that. A film commission will open the platform for the film companies, because when a work comes to Kurdistan, I am not getting paid. They are. They will get the projects. We are a non-profit. We offer services to the foreign productions, which is for free, in order for those production companies locally to benefit. For example, we offer production consultation, location scouting for free of charge, which usually the foreign productions they have to pay for it. Why do I do that?
To get
more... So people come here and say, okay, we want to film, and now I connect them with a production company, they pay them. What I do is I try to make sure that the industry is blooming. And there is more jobs, and there is more creating more jobs in the industry, inside the audiovisual industry. And right now, it's very important I highlight that, so everyone who owns a production company hears about it. We are creating now, we have a huge database for locations. We are creating now a database for all the production companies on the KFO website. So every single international production who likes to come here and film here can find the production company on our website and contact with them directly. So it is very transparent and internationally done. There is no hidden ways into how the website works. So we have now many production companies joining. So I hope whomever has a production company, they can contact us. We will add them to the database, and they will be categorized with their services, with their equipment, with whatever they have to offer. And when there's a production company, I don't know, in the US or Europe who wants to come here, they will go through the list, they will select the categories, and then they might contact them and get the job done. It is always, as I said, very simply explained, a film commission is the mirror, is the first point of contact of that country for the audiovisual sector. And again, in many countries, the person who is involved in the activities of a film commission and funding it and supporting it is always the highest chain of command of that country. So it is a very prestigious, respected, important project for any country who wants to move forward, but this is not oil or real estate. It does not happen overnight. It needs
a plan.
The plan is there, and the plan is actually not so important when you talk about business. It's the strategy. It needs time. There, like my strategical approach that I have already written is for the next 5 years. You need 5 years to see the result of what a film commission has done. But the first one is 1 year, 1 year and a half, 2 years, and then 3, and then 5. Okay. It is strategical. But as I said, which is okay, people have been used to those two gigantic industries, which is oil and real estate. Is when you walk now in Suli, suddenly you see a new building, and Erbil the same. This is not the same. And we have to be patient. We have to follow the plan. And then it will follow itself, and it became sustainable and surviving.
This is amazing. Any final remarks on the commission?
Well, I think we covered everything. It is just, I hope the young filmmakers trust what a film commission can do for them, reach out to us, ask for advice if they need one, ask for contacts if they need any.
We are going to leave all of your contact information at the description of the episode, so
Wonderful.
People can join in. So I wanted to start about talking about what was the first flame that ignited all of this. You were a film student, and then you made movies for a while, and you are now a professor and a teacher of art or a lecturer on that. So, like, what started all of that? What was the first spark that ignited all?
Well, when I was a kid, I had always those bizarre dreams. There were 3 jobs that I always wanted to do. I want to become an astronaut, or visit Egypt because that's my favorite country in the world. Discover new pyramids and stuff like that. Don't ask me why, but it started there. And film. And films. Okay. So I eliminated the astronaut and the archaeology part, and then
a reality hit.
It was like I can't become an astronaut, and then my dreams about archaeology was always about history, and I want to make a film about history. Yes. But the film was always the big gigantic dream. Yes. So I started studying film. It started in high school, actually, because in Belgium we have art high schools. So I started from there, and then I went to the Royal Film Academy in Belgium, in Brussels, which is one of the most prestigious film academies. You have to do 1 week of entry exams to get in.
1 week of entry exams?
Yes, one whole week.
Out of curiosity, what are the questions and like?
Oh, we actually it's been a long time. But if one was bring your camera and go to the downtown of Brussels, because the school, the academy was very close to the downtown, and take pictures with stories, photos, but it must be a story. And when you came in, you should have made a short film.
With those stories?
No, before the week. So
okay.
It started before this week, before that first week of the entry exam. Yeah, you had to make a short film, discuss it with the professors. Those are the 2 tasks that I remember, but I don't remember the rest. There were theoretical questions and.
Yeah. Do they ask about who's the director of this movie or?
No. It's not relevant. No.
Yeah, it's not relevant.
No.
So and then you got your PhD and
Not yet. It's on hold because
I know.
I'm working on it, but it's about women's empowerment through cinema. Yes. But I started. It was before the corona. I chose the most terrible time to start a PhD on the face of this planet, and then I got carried away with the film commission, because in the first papers of starting the film commission started in 2019. So I've put my PhD on hold for the time being. because I'm very, very busy with this. But I'm still teaching. I'm teaching production.
And how is that different from being a student? Now you are teaching this material. So how does that go?
Well, I was the first person to teach production here.
Okay.
Before me, there was no class. There was no class about production.
It was about making the art form.
No, the production, the film production.
No, I know. The classes were about like cinematography, I think, screenwriting.
No. About the production, they had those classes,
Yeah,
but they had that.
Yes.
They had that. But my class was about production itself, the producing of the film. And how do you produce a film? That was the first class I gave.
How would you summarize producing a film?
Oh, I can't.
No way?
No, I can't. Because it is one of the most complicated jobs on a film. So it is also the most important person. It can make a film fail or get toward the end.
Yeah, indeed. I want to ask about what's your advice for filmmakers, for people who actually view and enjoy the art form here, and if anyone wants to start to contribute to the art form, where should they go?
Oh, good Lord, I don't think I am in the position to give such a big advice.
I think you are the most
But I think there are so many more capable people than me to give such a big advice. But out of experience, based on my students that I've seen throughout the years, two things that I'm going to say. One, I've seen it here more than I've seen it in Europe. They are very easily satisfied when they are making films.
The audience or the...
No, the filmmakers. The audience, they are free to do and say whatever they want. They are the audience. But the filmmakers, the young filmmakers, don't be so easily satisfied with your product.
Yeah.
When I say a product, I mean the film.
Yes.
Whether it's one scene
so
or...
you need people who are very critical of themselves.
Yes, very, because that's I personally, that's how I'm never okay with what I do. It's always something that I can do better.
Yeah.
But as I said, throughout the years, that's the big difference that I have noticed.
Yes.
As a teacher, at the university, or as a student when I was in Europe, we were never easily satisfied. Our teachers were never easily satisfied. And that's the big point that I've discovered. So the first advice would be, don't be so easily satisfied. Try until you reach that point that you say, this is good. Secondly is educate yourself. Watch as many films as possible, because that's the biggest and best. Watch as many films as possible. And make it. Just make it. You have these gigantic, beautiful phones now that can film one of the best qualities out there. Just make films. Just make it. Go on and film.
Yes.
So I think...
And for viewers, how do you think people who are consuming this should do after watching or wanting to watch something that's made here?
You mean local productions?
No, I mean the viewers, like people who actually go and like consume what's being produced. What's their responsibility? What should they do toward this?
Well, it might not sound that good, but I think the audience here don't have that big of an access as in Europe. For example, in Europe or in other countries, you have so many art house cinemas.
Yes.
So the variation of what they get to watch is much bigger than here.
It's not only like big productions. And
not commercial. Commercials.
Yeah.
But I personally, and I've been always like that, and I will always be like that. I will never ever advise any audience, because that's what the beauty of audience is. You see the society change the way they watch a film.
Yeah.
Which films do they consume? And you cannot manipulate that. You have to watch it. But when you see a nation that goes toward the most terrible production that are out there, and they consume that more, you as a film commission or a ministry or a filmmaker should ask yourself, what do I want as someone who is in in the position of the maker do about it?
Should I join the crowd, or should I?
Or should I know? Yeah, exactly. So it is not for the audience, in my opinion. Like it might be the most terrible opinion out there, but this is my opinion. I would like to see what the audience is consuming, and it is for the filmmaker to change that perspective. What for films are you going to make? Why are you making these films? What do you want to say? What is your contribution to the industry and to the society? Let us not forget that there are films out there who changed laws of their countries, like changed real laws. So films are a very, very, very powerful tool. During World War II, they used film as a propaganda tool to manipulate people. In Germany, and during the Olympic Games, like Rifchenthal was one of the biggest directors. She was a woman in Germany, and she made this almost perfectly aesthetic Olympic Games films to manipulate the public about the Nazis. So you can manipulate the audience, the public, through films, but you can also change laws. Like the name escapes me at the moment, but there was this beautiful documentary. I think it was from Afghanistan or Pakistan. I think Afghanistan. Girl on the River. If I'm wrong, please correct me later. But it was a short documentary, who won an Oscar about honor killing. And when that film came out, the law about honor killing changed in Afghanistan. That's one example. So you really can use this, and never underestimate the power of films. They are a very powerful tool that can be used in many, many ways.
Yes.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. Finally, we have this ritual at the end of each episode.
Okay.
To ask our guests what's their favorite film and TV show.
Oh God, do you have time?
Yeah, of course. All the time.
Well, I'm guilty, very, very guilty, to be obsessed with TV series lately.
Which ones?
Oh, good Lord.
Succession?
Yes, that's on the top of the list.
Yeah.
I'm upset about every single thing about that TV series, but many more. Like
in a good way, and upset in a good way.
No, obsessed. It's amazing. Yeah. It's absolutely wow. Yeah. About films, I can't decide. But Paradiso, Godfather, there are so many. Yeah. But about TV shows, I absolutely love political TV shows, like.
And this kind of.
No, like House of Cards, the first few seasons, yeah.
But they ruined it at the end.
Yeah, but they always ruin TV series at the like Game of Thrones, except for the last season. I have a trauma still. I don't want to talk about the last season. In the recent years, the first 3 seasons of The Crown, I loved it.
That was amazing.
There are so many out there. You can't remind me of some. I don't know. I can't.
I mean, Scent of a Woman. It's like Al Pacino. I really enjoy that.
You mean movies?
Yeah.
Of course. But Citizen Kane.
Yeah,
that's one of
the first time I watched Citizen Kane, I didn't get it at all. I was like,
no, it's all right. Yeah.
Let's go and go on. Like, what's happening here? But like, as you start like understanding of like what it means and all the hidden messages and like all the stories that went behind it, and how they use the MacGuffin. And
Persona is one of my favorite films of Bergman. Persona is one of the top films out there. The Tree of Life by Terrence Malick is just one of the most beautiful poetic films. I've seen it like I think
what
10
do you go
times.
to, like for movies or for TV shows? Like what genres intrigue you the most?
Oh no, I watch everything. I used, because I'm a big fan of Martin Scorsese. I'm actually in love with him.
Yes.
Everyone knows already. But I used to hate horror when I was young. Yeah, I don't know why. I had such a big thing against horror, and then when I grow older and I started watching like Hitchcock and so I was so wrong about the genre. And The Shining, how can you hate The Shining?
Yes.
Like you can't hate The Shining and love cinema. That's
I was watching
almost
The Shining,
impossible.
like, during a funeral, so that was fun.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
your
actually,
your
it's
timing.
Yeah, the perfect timing.
Yeah, no, there are. I think like I'm absolutely in love with the audiovisual sector in general. I used to really hate television, I was if there was a protest out there against television, I would be the first one to go out there. Yeah, I don't have TV channels home.
Yeah.
I don't watch TV.
Yes.
But I think I'm gonna go broke because I have the subscription, I have the membership of every single platform out there.
Yeah.
I actually sometimes forget until I watch my bank account, like, oh God.
You brought up this because like this is our concluding segment, but you talked about subscriptions. It's a very huge issue here.
Yeah.
How do you think we can solve that?
Well, it was actually a very nice discussion that I had with one of the head of the TV channels here, how that can be solved and why, for example, Netflix is absolutely not interested in here because of that. And how you can contribute into solving this. I hate to say it, but again, a film commission can contribute into doing that, is to collect the data, because that's one of the tasks of a film commission as well, is to collect data. Yes. Like, so at the end of the year, we know what people watch, why do they watch it, that we make Kurdistan an interesting market for Hulu, for Prime, for Apple TV, for Netflix, for etc. They have to understand that we consume their products, their shows, not in a legal way, but then we should make it legal. So they know that, because every single person here has a Netflix account, and when you go and talk to them, they don't know because it's not official.
Yes.
It's not officially Iraq. And we have to change that. And you change that through collecting data, talking to them, proving that we are an interesting market for them.
This was amazing.
Thank you. It was very nice to
I enjoyed this. And
Me
it
too.
was very informative.
Thank you.
Educational.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm pretty sure like everyone who's still listening to this is pretty entertained.
Oh, I hope so.
Informed about the whole scene and what should be done and everything. So thank you so much. And
thank you for having me, and I hope it was not a boring conversation.
no, it wasn't. At least for me. I don't know.
Great. We will see then.
Yeah, we will see. So thank you everyone for listening. Hope you enjoyed this one, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.